I have watched solo founders spend a week building the product, then another week opening accounts so the product can behave like a company. Naive is trying to put that administrative maze behind one interface for AI agents. Its pitch is blunt: one prompt, one configuration file, and the infrastructure for an application, an agent, or even a company. TechCrunch reports that more than 30,000 developers signed up, and that Naive raised $28.5 million after increasing annual run rate revenue tenfold in 6 months. The founder keeps building while an agent assembles the operational shell. But before calling this an autonomous company, I wanted to test the claim. Launching a tiny paid software tool without hiring an operations person or collecting 12 browser tabs of setup instructions. Here is the paper test. Our imaginary founder has working code and wants a United States LLC, a branded inbox, a phone number, a database, hosting, Stripe payments, and QuickBooks. Naive gives developers a setup prompt for Cursor, Claude Code, or Codex, and its API exposes those business primitives to the agent. For incorporation, the agent can organize the proposed names, state, industry code, and business description. The human still completes KYC and KYB checks. The human still makes required payments. That distinction matters. Naive does not erase legal identity or turn verification into a background task. After approval, the same agent can provision inboxes, virtual cards, phone numbers, storage, computing resources, and service connections. On paper, that replaces a messy handoff with one supervised run. The useful unit is not an answer. It is a declared operating setup that can be repeated and inspected. The strongest part of the product is governance, because autonomous setup without boundaries is merely faster chaos. Naive says every primitive passes through a control plane. A founder can set hard card limits, define allow and deny lists, scope tools per agent and per user, and require human approval for sensitive actions. You can revoke cards, sessions, or capabilities while work is running. That is the correct mental model for a one-person company. You are not removing yourself from the business. You are moving yourself from repetitive execution to the approval points where judgment matters. The quiet workflow is declarative. This agent may search, send drafts, and create a database. It may not wire money. Email sends require approval. Monthly spend stops at a known number. Those rules are more valuable than a promise that the agent can do everything, because they make delegation survivable. The second useful layer is that Naive is broader than company formation. Its current primitives include Postgres and authentication. Its current primitives include object storage, real-time services, edge functions, sandboxed compute, email, domains, SMS, virtual cards, invoicing, and model routing. Naive offers more than 100 third-party connections. Templates cover full-stack software, accounting, recruiting, customer support, and mobile use agents. For our tiny paid tool, that means the same configuration could create the application backend, connect payments, open the support inbox, and build a live financial dashboard. Naive also offers a durable runtime for multi-agent teams, with one lead, typed roles, and a task board that survives a crash. This is the replacement team question. A solo founder may not need to coordinate separate vendors for hosting, billing, inbox setup, bookkeeping integration, and first-line support. Now the uncomfortable part. Agent infrastructure can become its own expensive hobby. TechCrunch notes that long-running agents may call costly models. They carry large contexts between tasks and consume resources while idle. Naive is using part of its new funding on model routing and memory. The serverless runtime is intended to charge mainly while agents are active. Its website advertises routing across more than 300 models. Those are sensible answers, not proof that a particular business will be cheap. The product also concentrates identity and communications behind one control plane. That is convenient, but it makes access design, audit logs, recovery, vendor dependence, and failure modes first-class founder work. I would not begin by handing an agent everything. I would not begin by handing an agent production data on day one. Autonomy should expand only after the narrow workflow behaves predictably under a small budget. My verdict is worth testing, not ready for blind delegation. Naive appears unusually complete for technical founders who already use coding agents. It is for those who understand configuration, APIs, permissions, and logs. The 30,000 developer figure suggests real demand, but they do not tell us the reliability. They do not tell us how reliably one new company reaches production, or how much human cleanup remains. If your goal is simply to form an LLC, a focused service may be calmer. If you dislike terminals, policy files, or agent debugging, this may replace vendor tabs with infrastructure concepts you did not want to learn. But for builders, the value is sharper. If you are already building with Cursor or Claude Code, give your existing agent governed access to the boring business primitives it previously could only describe. That can eliminate setup research, support calls, integration errands, and repeated credential choreography without pretending the founder is absent. I would run one 7-day experiment. Pick a non-critical internal project. Ask Naive to provision a database, object storage, one inbox, and a virtual card. Ask for a virtual card capped at $50. Deny wire transfers. Require approval for every outbound message and every charge. Keep customer data outside the test. Measure 4 things: minutes of setup avoided, number of manual corrections, total model and infrastructure cost, and every permission the agent requested but did not need. Then break the setup and test recovery. Revoke the card, rotate a credential, restart the runtime. If the logs remain understandable, add one connection like Stripe. That is how a quiet founder should adopt autonomous company infrastructure. Not by disappearing, but by designing a smaller place to stand. The promise is not absence. The promise is not a business that runs without you. It is a business that truly stops making you personally carry every box.